I wanted to do something special, and that is an unranked legend tier list for Apex. I think right now, since a lot of legends have been nerfed or buffed, it might be really interesting to see which is the worst and which is the best legend. Yeah, well, long story short, let's go into the firing range. Okay. So, all right, first of all, I think the way how I want to rate the legends is from worst to best. So I will start at D tier and then go all the way up from C to B to A and then S. Maybe S plus. So who is more or less the worst legend? Let me think. I've obviously already made thoughts beforehand. So just to make it clear, this is a tier list for unranked Apex Legends. It will definitely look a lot different for ranked. Anyways, who sucks the most? Who is the worst legend? Who is a D tier legend? Mirage. I think the main reason why Mirage sucks are very obvious. First of all, every single ability from Mirage is literally just like baiting, bamboozling, and it's not really helping the team. His passive, well, you're rezzing your teammate. His Q.
Sending out my decoy.
Very shitty ability. You can still control him, so he's definitely not the worst legend. The only problem is you need to practice Mirage a lot. And that's the other thing. Mirage doesn't really help the team, ever. Like, he's a very self-oriented legend. His ultimate. Well. His ultimate is another thing. Mirage's ultimate is literally a panic button for when you mess up. When you play Mirage and you just want to have a fun time in Unranked, I'm not saying he's a bad legend. However, if you want to win, D tier, definitely. Next up, Crypto. I was talking about Crypto and I wanted to take him into the C tier list because honestly, Crypto for unranked matches, he's very difficult to play. And usually I would say he's not the strongest legend to, well, play with kind of useless teammates, to say the least. Because if you are playing unranked and you just want to have fun, play the game, Crypto, well, you need to practice him a lot. So this is why I want to put him into the C tier list nonetheless. However, that would be insanely... yeah, that would be like the opposite. He would be in the opposite direction when it was for ranked. Crypto S tier if you know a team who knows how to play around him. Exactly. Yeah. So it really depends. Crypto has the potential for a S tier legend, but let's say you play unranked Apex and you're by yourself, he's nonetheless C tier. I have to say it. Next up. There is some more or less obvious ones, but someone that I want to put into the C tier list right now is Fuse. The reason why I want to select Fuse is one thing. One, Fuse might be a very strong legend when he has his grenades. Fuse with grenades, incredibly strong. Fuse is incredibly strong when he has a lot of grenades. Like, his Q is also insanely powerful. Like, it is just crazy damage. I just missed. Yeah. Dude, I should make more guides. Why is Fuse a C tier legend? Why? You might ask why. He's a new legend. He should be overpowered, right? Well, the thing is, Fuse, his Q might be very powerful. So technically, you don't even have a gun in the beginning. You can already take make damage. But he's only as strong as his grenades, and he has no escape. So he needs, in order to really shine with Fuse, you need a strong team. You need a strong team. You really need a strong team to shine with Fuse. Because if he's running around by himself, unless you really know how to freaking be a movement monster, move around the houses like a little god, obviously, every single legend will be really good. But this is about like ranked to have like the easiest time, even if you're, you know, teammates don't matter because they're probably dead. Or maybe they're not. Anyways. Oh, that's the other thing. Fuse's ultimate. I don't really know. I think it will be more visible over time whether his ultimate is really strong or just okay. Right now, I would say his ultimate is decent at best. It's like an OP thermite grenade. His ultimate, it's not the strongest. If you want to be soloing Fuse, grenades will be something you will need a lot. Because that's the thing. It's very easy to stack someone and get the advantage, especially if people are like peeking through doors, or you're just like jiggle peeking, you just boom, and then dead it. You might die right now. He actually survived. Wait, I just figured out that 2 arc stars. Yeah, I just noticed 2 arc stars don't kill a caustic. Man. Well, now we know. If you want to have like really good moments with him, even if you won't have an easy time winning, you will definitely be able to be like very creative. Because let's say Cesar is standing right here. Oh, not Cesar, I don't know this guy. It's just like a random enemy. Something that's really cool about Fuse's abilities is that you can use his grenades in very creative ways. Because they're bouncing off walls and you can literally see how they're bouncing off. Pretty cool if you ask me. Fuse C tier because like he has a hard time running away, getting back into it, and yeah, Next up, who else would come to the list of unranked legends? I think after Fuse there would be Rampart. If you're somebody who enjoys camping, and if you're somebody who likes sitting in a building, protecting himself, blocking doors, being very creative, and just spray and praying, Rampart might be the legend for you. However, Rampart in Unranked, you will have a hard time. Because once again, similar like Fuse, Rampart has no abilities to escape. Yeah, she can block doors and her ultimate is like pretty powerful when you have a like power position. But all in all, Rampart really has like no abilities that is making her incredibly strong in unranked situations. Okay, so this is one thing. After the update, Rampart kind of got better, but I still want to keep her at C tier because yes, even though she got stronger now, in terms of like her ultimate got a little bit of a buff, her, what is it called, her walls now always have 45 HP from the very beginning, right? Yeah. And they get up pretty fast, damn. They actually get up really, really fast. She's nonetheless really weak. Like if you have a golden mag, oh dude, reload so fast. Hold on. Oh yeah, it's because LMG. Now let's go to the R301. Kind of defeats the purpose that I reloaded, but anyways. And it's reloaded, and I can go back to it. Yeah, gold max especially for LMGs make Rampart pretty strong, but only in very specific scenarios. There is one more that I wanted to put into the C tier list for Unranked. As Revenant. Because Revenant sucks. I've never in my life seen a good Revenant, and never in your life when you place down your ultimate, your teammates will be close enough to you or even notice that you placed it down, so you have to ping it, and when you ping it, you already lost that short time frame of just like stomping an enemy team. So usually, Rampart is absolutely useless. Yes, he's really strong because you can disable abilities, and yes, you can climb stuff really, really high. But all in all, Rampart in Unranked, he's not a very fun experience. He sucks. Long story short, he sucks in Unranked. He's not fun to play. Because your teammates just won't use his ultimate. Unless you get good teammates, but that's rarely the case. The next legend is Watson. And now let me explain why I am putting Watson into... Should I put Watson into B tier? These are the facts about Watson. She has a very, very small hitbox. Her fences are really strong. And something that I've noticed is when you really camp up in a building, your teammates usually stay with you. So even if they're bad at the game, when you fence up, it's like an indicator for your teammates. It's like an indicator for your teammates to stay in that building. Like you don't even need to communicate with them, but they somehow always come back to you. So that's another thing. The reason why I want to put Watson into B tier is because her fences, for some reason, like one, she has a very small hitbox. Two, teammates really tend to stick to Watson when she's like fencing up. So when you survive the first initial drop and you kind of like get to the first building and you play around it, your teammates kind of stick to you. Is she really fun to play? Well, you're camping a lot, so she's not, you know, she's not amazing. But she's countering a lot of legends. Can you throw your ultimate?
No more storms.
Where?
To me. Thank you. So yeah, she's countering literally every single annoying legend, including Caustic. That's why I want to put her into B tier. She is countering every single ability of Fuse.
Did you just call me annoying?
Yeah. She's countering every single grenade. And she's countering the newest legend, which is Fuse. Pretty poke. The next legend that is going to be B tier.
I'm back in action, boys.
Gibraltar.
Let's do this, brothers.
The reason why I want to put Gibraltar into a B tier is because even though he has fortified and he has a very, very strong arm shield, the reason why I want to put him into the B tier is very simple. His bubble is incredibly strong. And yes, this guy can literally carry a lot of teams. Like Gibraltar can literally carry the game. However, if you're in there, in between 3 squads, you have to kill 9 people. You only have 5 bullets. Keep that in mind. And your teammates suck. Like, yes, maybe you can like help them out with your bubble, but can you really turn the game around entirely? Most likely not. So even though his abilities are incredibly strong, he has fortified, his arm shield is really good. I still would say he is probably not the greatest legend to just like single-handedly play unranked and just like destroy the lobbies. Sadly not the case. Gibby, really strong. Unranked soloing, you might have a hard time. You might have a hard time, especially if you keep trying to save your teammates who just keep getting knocked. And here we go with the next fortified legend, Caustic.
I control death.
Caustic is very similar to me when it comes to unranked matches, because Caustic, similar to Gibraltar, can be really strong under very certain circumstances, but if you're completely on your own and your teammates, well, they're kind of decoys just walking around, Caustic can only do so much. Of course, you can like gas up in a building, be the most annoying person in the game, kill a lot of people probably too, but a Caustic all by himself can only survive for so long. What's really cool about Caustic though is he counters every other Caustic. His barrels are really cool because you can gas up with your team. Like, if you really are just like, if you just want to have like a very relaxed session, you're with the boys, you're watching Netflix while playing unranked games, talking with them, just, you know, just farming dubs, he's the one to go. You sit in a building, you do absolutely nothing, and you let the enemies breathe it in. But other than that, Caustic, really frustrating to like W key seriously in unranked matches. But yeah, for a relaxed Netflix session, he's the one. Now we are going to the A tier. Pause champ. Who would it be? Who would be the first A tier legend? The reason why I put Bangalore into A tier is very simple. First of all, Bangalore is probably one of the strongest legends right now to escape in unorganized fights, which basically happen all the time in unranked matches. So Bangalore is literally the best to escape, pop a battery, go right back in and just destroy. But yeah, I think Bangalore's passive is basically the strongest when it comes to escaping. So Bangalore, really strong ultimate. You can sometimes res your teammates in open fields when they are knocked. You can escape when the enemy is shooting you. Your ultimate is basically like a slightly nerfed Gibraltar ultimate. And dude, his movement speed is insane. So, Bangalore, literal A tier. Why not S tier though? Why not S tier? I think the main and only reason why I wouldn't put a Bangalore into S tier is because there is some legends that can catch up to her, which can catch up to her and counter her very easily. If you face a strong Octane or Pathfinder, they will always be able to catch up. So no matter how fast you are and running away and smoking and everything, Pathfinder is always able to catch up. Octane, same thing, always able to catch up. And even worse, when you place your smokes and you think you're safe, a Bloodhound can literally be around the corner, scan once, or pop his ultimate, and Bangalore's kind of busted, which makes him kind of a not useless legend, but he's not as strong anymore. Like, it's very, very easy to counter a Bangalore if done right. Okay, next up we have the next A tier legend. So the next A tier legend, I would say Lifeline. And the reason why I'm picking Lifeline right now is because this is literally single-handedly one of the only reasons why right now I would say Lifeline is probably one of the best support players for Unranked. You just pop that E real quick and your teammates get picked up while you can still protect them. You can literally drop your drone and your teammates get HP. Sick. Amazing. Her hitbox, just as small as Watson's. So, Lifeline is like really the legend to carry and pick up your useless teammates over and over and over again when you really want to stick to them. Why not S tier? Well, at some point, I think you cannot destroy everyone. Like, as much as you keep picking up your teammates and everything, Lifeline has very, very limited escape abilities. And with very limited, I mean, well, none, but she's a very small hitbox. And she's so OP, like she really makes up with her support abilities that I would say, even for unranked, she's still really, really strong. Like, Predator players usually know how to counter a Lifeline. Usually lifelines get, say real quick, usually lifelines get focused, or if the lifelines are instant rezzing, people are like spamming grenades, destroying the drone, making sure that they literally don't give the lifeline team a second to breathe and reset. This is the next thing. Lifeline is also a really great support player when it comes to hooking your team up with good stuff that they need. Long story short, A tier because she's an amazing support player. However, she's not S tier because she doesn't have any real escape abilities. Which legend might be really strong and an A tier legend?
couldn't leave so many treasures
Loba.
behind.
You might be thinking, Vadu heck, why is he selecting Loba right now? But hear me out. The main reason why I think that Loba is a really strong legend in Unranked are two things. Deux. One, Loba's Q is absolutely broken. And I know people say that Loba's Q is dog shit, Loba's Q is useless and all that kind of stuff. Because her cooldown
Jump drive.
is really long. Oh, and that happens a lot. So that kind of like is very triggering. Jesus, that was actually the perfect example of like why Loba is amazing, but sometimes she sucks. Let me do that again.
Jump drive out.
You can travel so incredibly far with Loba. You can be in the worst and most sticky situation, even in a building. With Loba's Q, you can literally escape through a tiny little gap when you're even like, when you're locked in a building, like in a tiny little building. You can escape with her. But don't get me wrong. You cannot fight people in a building, fuck up and expect to escape with her Q. Like, Loba's Q is very tactical. If you want to get a very good angle to wipe an enemy team, Loba's the one. Her Q, incredibly strong, but people often compare it with like a Wraith Q. Loba's Q is very strong. It's very strong, but you should use it in a tactical way. And if you fight, you cannot expect to like press Q when the guy is like 5 meters in front of you. You get what I'm saying. Just use it in a way where he cannot kill you when you Q. People often compare it with a Wraith thing, but you shouldn't. The next thing, her passive, strong AF. Without, like, when you drop with a Loba in your team, or if you are the Loba in your team, you will always get the best stuff for your team. Your team will love you. Not only because you're the best looking legend in Apex, but also because you can literally
Shops
hook
open
them up
for VIPs only.
with everything. You can hook up your team with everything.
Oh, nice. What a good teammate you are.
Mama's got
Thanks,
you
man.
now.
I really appreciate it. With Loba's ultimate, you can yoink stuff from the World's Edge cave, which is, well, right now we have King's Canyon back, but I wonder if you can yoink stuff in those little grenade thingies. I think you can, though. Her verticality is really strong. Well, it's not that strong, but it is really strong.
Jump drive out.
All in all, great legend. Why not S tier? I would say she's not S tier because of one very simple reason. One, her hitbox, well, it's kind of thick. Whenever I play Loba, I kind of feel like people have an easy time getting good sprays on me. I think Loba has a lot of super strong abilities. She's a great legend, great for like flanking and like escaping, pushing, just, you know, all in all, great legend. However, not the best. Next up, we have, ooh, this is such a difficult one. I wanted to cover Octane next, but I think I will cover Pathfinder. And now hear me out why I think Pathfinder is not an S tier legend for unranked matches anymore. Even though Pathfinder has been nerfed to the ground, I still think he's a very strong legend when it comes to unranked or like even solo ranked. Because his ability to escape and run away is almost unmatched. Well, now after the Octane buff, it's a little bit of a different story, so hold up for that. But if you are somebody who loves playing unranked matches and you're like really good at like helping your team going in and out, grabbing banners when your teammates die, escaping, just soloing it, he's great. Seriously, his Q alone is huge. Yes, he has a big hitbox, he's a running refrigerator, but he's basically one of the most mobile legends. And also, him being able to scan the zone and immediately getting his ultimate back with a 10-second cooldown reduction, huge. Absolutely huge. I would say just from the fun itself, he's incredibly fun to play. Pathfinder is like really skill based. If you know how to like pop your Qs very effectively and kind of like guide your team with your ultimate ability, check zone, but still always WQ everything. Yeah, Pog. Now, here is one legend where I'm not really sure where I want to put him. Frick, this is actually a difficult one. Octane. Dude, I'm legit thinking right now. So, I wanted to put Octane into A tier for simple reasons. His jump pad is trash, but it really depends on the map. But since we are playing on the new King's Canyon, Season 8 right now, I think instead of putting him into the A tier list, I think Octane definitely deserves the S tier status. status. Octane deserves the S tier status. Why, you might ask? This little jump pad is absolutely insane now. It really depends on like how you approach it. It brings you everywhere and anywhere you want to go in King's Canyon. He is the craziest legend, S tier, yeah. Octane can literally get your entire team to the moon. And that's the other thing. If you're somebody who loves having fun running around, aping people, running and gunning and just having a great time, Octane is the one. You don't ever need to heal up with Octane. You just need to shield up with Octane. Wow, I'm a rapper. You just need to shield up with Octane because your HP is always getting refilled and really quickly too. His jump pad now, it has changed so much. If you kick, you go straight up. Like if you punch onto it, like you literally just stand right in front of the jump pad. Let's say you want to get, if you slide into the jump pad, you go really far, but not that high. I know, it's pretty amazing. If you just walk up, you go really high, but you still go quite some meters forward. I wanted to say miles, but that's not the case. Octane is so versatile now. Like, is it going fast forward or just up? He is absolutely insane. For King's Canyon, I would say he is one of the strongest legends. I'm not even joking. Like now that I think about it, his hitbox is really decent. His Q ability, you will catch up to anyone in the game. Is it Bangalore? Is it a Bloodhound in his ultimate? Is it anyone? Octane will catch up. Octane will always catch up to you. And that's like the scary part. Look at where the jump pad is. I didn't even need to double jump. This is insane. Long story short, Octane, because of King's Canyon and because of his like slight adjustments, he is definitely an S tier legend. He is fast, he's healing himself, he can catch up to anybody, he has a jump pad that is also useful to his teammates. Octane is the one. Next up, the next S tier legend right now that I think of when I think about like violence, speed and momentum is Horizon.
I'm back, darlings. Guess it was only a flesh
Horizon
wound.
on King's Canyon, I'm telling you, she is a ninja. Horizon is literally a ninja. And that's another thing. Horizon's passive is mind-blowing. And let me show you what I mean by that. Horizon's passive, which is called Spacewalk. The Spacewalk passive is literally the craziest thing combined with an Octane or in general when you just try to bounce around and get momentum just from your surroundings. When you jump down from heights, you don't get slowed. That is crazy. That is crazy, crazy, crazy good. People really underestimate it. But when somebody's falling from a very high building, with any other legends, you would say, oh, he's falling from a height, right? He's falling from a height. A Horizon can really throw you off when she's falling from heights because you would think that she gets stunned on a certain spot for a moment. She can just move as if nothing has ever happened. Horizon's passive is so strong, it is incredible. Like, look at that. I can move right away when I drop from heights. That's so strong. Next up is her Q. Her Q is the craziest ninja attack you can have. I don't know what it is about her, but her Q,
How about a wee pick-me-up?
it sounds incredibly loud, but in the heat of the moment, people often don't hear it. With Horizon's Q, if anyone has the high ground, it does not matter. You don't need the high ground. If you think about you underestimate my power, that's what I'm thinking of. Horizon is actually so incredibly powerful, even if she has low ground. I literally played today in Predator Ranked, and the Horizon just came out of nowhere with her entire squad and wiped us end game because we thought that we have the high ground. She literally, it was insane. Now, next thing, her ultimate. Her ultimate is so incredibly strong, especially paired with like somebody else. If you just want to wipe an entire squad for free, and I'm telling you for free, you literally throw your ultimate,
Singularity deployed.
throw in
Mind
those
your
grenades,
markings. Grenade
and you
deployed.
wipe an
Grenade
entire
out.
squad.
Grenade deployed. Arc star out.
Well,
They went straight
not the
down.
greatest example, but I think you know what I mean. Horizon is absolutely broken. Her cooldown for her Q is still very, very low. Her hitbox is pretty small, to be honest. What else is really strong about her Q is anyone can use it. Well, it kind of sounds like a bad thing that anyone can use it, right? Like, you would think it's, you know, like the enemy can use it as well. Yeah, that's true. But you can literally lift up your teammates, and that is incredibly strong. If your teammates are knocked, you can literally use this pick-me-up
Another soft landing.
to bring him really quickly to a safe spot. You can literally save your teammate's life just with that Q. You can push, you can escape. Horizon is just absolutely broken, especially on King's Canyon. Like, you can get anywhere with her. It's insane. It's insane. Horizon S tier. And now you would think, who is the last S tier legend? Next up, we have Wraith.
Now for the right choice.
Whoa, spoilers! Even though Wraith has basically been similarly nerfed to the ground like Pathfinder, I would say she's still one of the strongest, if not the strongest, unranked legend. One of the main reasons is her hitbox is still fairly small, even though she gained weight over the holidays, but it's fine. We won't judge her for that. Her Q is so incredibly strong that you can always go into crazy aggressive fights, just play around boxes, play around cover, and always be able to escape with her. But that's not the main thing why I think that she's one of the strongest legends for unranked matches. Wraith's portal, I would say, is... Wraith's portal is probably the best feature about her. Her portal is so strong that when you play with random teammates and you just pop that ultimate right next to them, you know that they will push with you. And if your teammates have to escape, you can save their ass with that portal. Like, Wraith is that carry legend that is guiding you to the right direction. Wraith is literally the boss of the squad. After checking all those legends, who is the best? The best and unmatched?
It was not my time. Arc star out.
Bloodhound.
Frag out.
And hear me out why I think Bloodhound is by far the strongest legend for unranked. Maybe even ranked, who knows, but this is about unranked. The main reason why I chose Bloodhound as an S tier plus legend is his Q ability is literally a wall hack. His Q ability is literally a wall hack to guide your teammates on how to push something and how to just like run the enemy over. With Bloodhound, you can track down any squad. It doesn't matter if they run away. Even if they ran away a minute ago, you still can find their tracks. You can still find their tracks. Well, you can still find the enemy. They can run away. They can be gone for a whole minute. You can still track them to the ground because of his passive. Like, his passive is just insane. Bloodhound's ultimate is incredibly broken. When you use Bloodhound's ultimate, you are 30% faster. You can literally see the enemies through smokes. You can Q every 6 seconds. And most importantly, every time... Oh, it didn't extend it here. That's kind of weird. But every time you knock someone, your ultimate extends for a couple of seconds. Bloodhound is the greatest legend to freaking be a great team player, but also have great escape abilities. And like, obviously, he's the strongest legend to just find any enemy you want and destroy them. Yeah, this is my breakdown of the unranked Apex Legends tier list. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a comment, like and subscribe.
On the side.
I need to show them the graph on the side. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Follow the channel, follow me on Twitch, follow me on my social medias, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. And this is amazing.